Hey everybody, good morning. My name is Matt. I'm with Crypto, correct. I'm with Voice Crypto. I'm here because I've picked up a unique skill, something that I think a lot of people don't have. They have the ability to pull money from the market that has been able to pay me over the course of my time while I've been trading. I'm going to be trading Bitcoin and altcoins live on this stream. This is my first stream, but I hope that everybody enjoys as I go over my ideas and my technical analysis. These are the trades I currently have open right now. They're all in profit. This account started about $5,000 a few days ago, and we're going to be working on building that up together as we go over different trades that we make. None of this stuff on this video is meant to be financial advice, but I'm going to go over my ideas with you guys. Bitcoin is my favorite asset to trade because it's super volatile. First thing I do before going over any trade or investment ideas, come over here to Crypto Bubbles and kind of look at everything that's going on a broader perspective. I like to look at everything, and what's so cool about crypto is that it's super volatile and it's super easy to catch big swing moves and comparatively to the stock market, because it's not always trading sideways. Like where you have moves in the stock market, you may safely return 10% year over year. You see here on crypto, you have things that have 50x this year, you have things that have 13x over the course of a year, and that volatility is awesome, but it's also dangerous. Before we get started, I want to let you know that risk management here with trading is going to be the most important thing that you can possibly mentally grasp if you decide to go into leverage positions like I'll be doing here on this channel. So leverage, something that goes up, say like virtuals here, is 50x'd in the past year, but if you had a 2x leverage position open on it, you would 100x your money, or a 10x, you would 500x your money. That's a really extreme example, and the people who have leverage positions open from those prices are doing really good right now. But these are going to be short-term to medium-term trades. I usually have a longer trade open, one at a time, and then a couple scalps on the side. And you can see here this is my Blowfin account. If anybody's interested in trading, there's a link below for my Blowfin account that you are more than welcome to use. So here's my current Bitcoin trade. It's a 10x position, 10x leverage position. So I'm utilizing $1,000 to control about $10,000 worth of Bitcoin currently. My stop loss is at about 95,800, which is where I'll cut the trade off for about $200 loss, and I'm targeting $104,000 here. So if we go over to TradingView, which is where I like to set up all my trades before I actually execute them, I'll set them up with these little green and red boxes. Kind of looks really, really nice. So the indicators that I use are the moving average ribbon. It's nice because if you have a free TradingView account, it's about 5 indicators in one. I think you only have 2 at a time while you're utilizing free TradingView. But you also have your visible range volume profile, which is cool, just to give me an idea of where most of an asset is traded over the course of time, which is nice to see, because if most of the asset is traded below where I'm currently at, honestly, let me make sure that I'm live before I keep talking. Let me refresh this here. Let me see. Double check. Hey, there we go. I am live. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so back to it here. So I have the visible range volume profile over here, and it just gives me an idea of where most of the asset has been trading over the course of time. And right now I'm on the 15-minute time frame, so we're kind of in the midst here. This is where most of Bitcoin has exchanged hands in the last since Thursday, since Monday, since last Monday, this past week, Bitcoin's kind of been hovering in in this area and consolidating very nicely. These moving averages are getting nice and tight, which is kind of indicating to me that there's going to be a move here pretty soon. They don't stay this tight for that often. You can see when they get tight, you often have like a big volatile move in one direction or the other, and we don't necessarily know what direction that's going to be, but that's where that risk management comes in. We're going to be taking trades that are 2 to 1, 3 to 1 risk reward ratios, and it's just where my risk management happens to lie. Like some people like to go 5 to 1, 10 to 1. I'm a little more conservative than that. I'll take some $50 for $100 trades, just scalping money off the market here and there. So here, let me go and go over the basis of why I got into this Bitcoin trade here. So we were really tight on the 5-minute time frame, and you know, I kind of look at all the time frames to kind of gauge where we're at, and but I really like when I'm going in my entries to kind of take a zoom out to a zoomed in kind of view. So I guess we can start here on the daily. Hey, like the daily for Bitcoin, we've been in this choppy range since the election, since back in, you know, November 20th, you know, just after the election. We got that post-election pump. Everybody was super excited for Donald Trump to get in there, make America great again kind of deal. But, you know, he talked about having a crypto asset reserve, and that got people really bullish on this asset. So that's kind of what led to this big push up in price. A lot of optimism in the space, and there's a huge gap in the VRVP. Not a lot of Bitcoin was traded here just because the massive amount of buy pressure that happened in the course of honestly a week. We went from 69 to about $90,000. It was very quick, very fast, very violent for Bitcoin. But that's the beauty of it, right? You could catch moves like that are, you know, a move like this, you're talking a 30% move in the matter of a week. You're not often going to get that in the stock market, but in crypto, it happens every day, every week. You could go here to Crypto Bubbles just as an example on the day. Like it's been a great day for crypto, but you're talking about things up 20% in a day, you know, and to catch those assets is really beneficial on leverage. You're talking about a 5x leverage position, doubling your investment in the course of 24 hours. That is actually insane, and for people to be able to do that on a nightly basis, it's a really cool thing. But with that, you know, you could on a 5x leverage position, you know, if this goes south like it has in the month, right? We look at the month and blood red everywhere, you know, XCN, the outlier, Ultima, but you have things that are down 25, 36%, 36% this month. Like that, it's been a bloody month. 43%, you lose 43% of your money in this asset. So like it's volatile, it is dangerous. But with that, you know, crypto and Bitcoin in particular have been some of the best performing assets over the past few years, because this is honestly what I believe to be the next industrial revolution. But sidetracking from trading there, that's just to show you like what kind of moves that these assets can make in a single day, especially the ones with lower market cap. You're talking, this is, you know, 1 to 100 as far as like the as far as the top cryptos go. But use them down here, you know, you start getting into 800, 900. You can see some, you know, bubbles kind of similar size. Let's see if we can find something here that's kind of just an outlier. Yeah, you know, little pep here, you know, a little meme coin. Hey, 62% in a day. Like that's very substantial. All right, let's go back to I always like to have this open. It just kind of helps me mentally get a picture of the market, right? All right, so back to Bitcoin here. We're on the daily time frame, right? Each individual candle represents a day's worth of time. We have our VRVP here on the side, and we're gonna start zooming in. The 4 hour, we're still below that 200 M. The number one signal that I'm gonna use here on this channel is this red line here. This red line is the 200 MA. It represents 200 periods of time. So we're on the 4 hour time period. This is the average price over the past 200 4-hour blocks that we have. So it's just a good indicator of like whether you're bullish or bearish. Bullish being price go up, bearish being price go down over the course of time. So when you're under this, you're typically bearish, right? But we're seeing signs in the short term, like on the 1 hour here, which is what I'm really liking. Moving averages nice and tight. We got above that 200 MA on the 1 hour. And the moving averages are gonna likely start to fan. They're gonna start to fan out. Like you're talking like they're gonna start looking like this here. and price is going to follow suit. I really think we're in for a pretty explosive move here pretty soon, and anything could happen in crypto. You know, this stuff could dump in my face. You know what I mean? It could just happen. And news could come out. Anything like this could just go, just stop me out. And hey, but that's where that risk management kind of comes in. So I got in this trade based off of the 5-minute time frame here. We were breaking above the 200 MA, and I saw these moving averages very tight, a signal that I really like. And you know, the stochastics were pushing up into the overbought area, but I was willing to take on that risk. But we're pushing up very nicely here. This trade is in $56 in profit right now, which is really nice to see. And it hasn't been open that long. You know, it's been open for, you know, a few hours here, but the trade is pushing in the right direction. A lot of the trades that I take are going to be based off of this red line, the 200, and the 21, the yellow line. The yellow line, the 21 moving average, is something that price just tends to respect, and nobody really knows why. I don't know why, but price, as you go back, it loves to hug this 21 moving average, and it's just a good basis for where price is likely to revert to in a bullish move. Like, you're not going to have many times where this is where chasing green candles gets like you're not going to have, when you see green candles, people like to chase these moves right here, right? And it's tough because you see an asset blowing up in your face and ripping to the upside, and you get this thing called FOMO, right? The fear of missing out. And that's what really drives this market. That's what drove this year with Bitcoin, this FOMO, when you know, back on, I think November 8th, this was the election night, November 6th, 7th, 8th, election night. This is where crypto really started to take off, realizing that, hey, you know, Donald Trump may be getting in. And he started winning like over the course of the night, and people got really optimistic, buying up a ton of Bitcoin, talking about the strategic reserve and everything. So that pushed price, that was a FOMO opportunity. And you know, these people that bought here are in the money. They are. But likely, whenever you get a push up here, like whenever you get a push up, price tends to mean revert back down and to fill some of those areas in the VRVP here, right? These gaps. And it's not guaranteed to happen, but the environment, you know, the environment's there. So we got to keep that risk on our radar when we're making our trades. But here in the short term, I'm seeing some bullishness for Bitcoin here. As we zoom out, the visible range volume profile is going to change as I zoom in and I zoom out. It's going to recalculate, right, based off of where I am looking. But there is a lot of Bitcoin that has been traded in this range, and it is looking like we are going to move further to fill this gap in the VRVP here, right? So since we're trading above this right here, we're at the high volume node where the most Bitcoin has been transacted. We flip that. It's like throwing a ball off a hill. You roll the ball off the hill, and it's going to come down to the next peak, right? So it's likely we're going to get that push up, and I'm targeting about $101,000 here on this move for Bitcoin. So we'll see if we get there, but it's very likely when we start breaking past this VRVP high volume node that we're going to range in here for a little bit, and this is going to be a more violent move, which is where I tend to cut off this trade, because any kind of fast money like that is often taken back very quickly. So I'll be getting out there at a close, and I'll be dragging my stop loss with it as we start getting some more bullish movement. So that's my Bitcoin trade in a nutshell. And it's going very well. And all these trades that I present to you guys on this stream, I'm going to give you daily updates until I close them. And we're going to build this together. We're going to build this house brick by brick. Okay, look, I'm looking to get this account to $10,000. It's going to happen. I'd like to say it's going to happen quickly, but it's not. It's going to happen. It's going to happen smartly and it's going to happen smartly over the course of time. Right, and I don't know how long it's going to take, but I know that with good risk management and taking trades over time that agree with my my trading strategy, I know we're going to get there. And I've done this with accounts in the past, but I'm starting this account with about $5,000 just to show you guys that anything really is possible with trading, and you could start small. And I know some people may not have $5,000 to put in a trading account, right? You could start with 100. You could start with 10 just to get the idea of even turning $10 into $20 is a huge deal, because there's not a lot of people that can do that without having a job, right? Like to just get paid and rely on an employer to pay your salary, right? Like this is a method that allows you to earn money on your own and from home. It's really neat, and something that I'm just really passionate about, and I'm excited to share with you guys. All right, so we talked about Bitcoin, right? We talked about why I'm in this trade and why I think we're going to continually move to the upside. Now I want to move into some riskier assets, right? These coins here that you're starting to see go up pretty massively in a day. You don't have to see Bitcoin go up 20% in a day, 1-2%, but these are the altcoins, things that move and are a little more volatile than Bitcoin. It is a little riskier, so I do tend to use less leverage on the altcoins, because I know I could actually get wrecked if I use like 30x leverage. Because use 30x leverage, you're talking about a 3% move. I don't even think we see a 3% move in a day on here. You would have gotten liquidated if you were short, right? Long, you could have doubled your money, tripled your money, or whatever. But that's a little too risky for me. So on these more speculative assets, right, the ones that I'm less confident in, I'm often doing a 3x, a 5x, right? So something that is way easier for me to watch over time, because I like the I don't want to get liquidated. I don't want to lose in front of you guys. So it's something that's pretty important to me. I don't want to lose, but when I do lose, you guys will see it right here on the live, right? All right, so let's move to my first trade, Injective. All right, so here we go. Our trade on Injective. This trade is risking $45 for 184 with the current take profit and stop loss already set at $12.7 for the stop loss and 21 for the take profit respectively. Why are we in this trade? Let's get over to the Injective chart here. All right, as you can see, it mirrors Bitcoin honestly almost to a T. The unique thing is, right, we're kind of above that high volume node right now, and we're about to kick that ball off the hill. We are the 21's moving with price action right here, right? Let me get rid of this here. We'll zoom in a little. So the 21's curving with price action, which is awesome. We're looking for these moving averages to start fanning out, getting that alligator mouth, right? And once we're above that high volume node, we zoom out here to prior price action, and it is very likely we come up to this next high volume node right here at 1840, right? And that's an area where I may consider taking some profit, but ultimately I'm looking up here for that $20-21 area for Injective to go over time. Now zooming out to the larger time frames, this pattern's really cool. It's called the Adam and Eve, right? It's where you have a sharp drop in price. You get a V. That's the Adam, and you got Eve here. You got Eve rearing its head. These patterns break out 80 to 90% of the time in the upward direction. And it's so nice to see that confluence, right, with the falling off the VRVP gap right here, pushing up honestly almost to about $19-20. We get above that 200 SMA on the 4-hour. Things are going to be looking really good, and honestly for the whole crypto space, if that happens, like, we're going to start to get into an area of FOMO again. I think a lot more money is going to be coming back into these altcoins. Altcoins have been absolutely brutally decimated. It has been an absolute disaster for altcoins over the past month, as many of you can see. Honestly, a lot of these altcoins are back to their bear market lows. I know we got a lot of green in here, but look at the red, a 75% in the red. Arbitrum from $2 all the way down to 42 cents. That is volatility. Injective, the trade that we currently have open, or a year ago, year to date, we were trading at $48. That's insane volatility. Insane volatility. And just as fast as Injective isn't down 50%, right? 56% year over year. We could see that easily rebound right? And you have stronger altcoins, right? Like Ondo, like Virtuals. Hey, like Virtuals was trading at 2 cents. Virtuals was trading at 2 cents not that long ago. This is the 7th of October. It was trading at 2 cents, currently at $1.31, a 60x. It came up and was one of the most, it got into the top 20 cryptos, which was absolutely mind-boggling. And you know, the space has been a little different since Trump launched his meme coin, but you know, it is what it is. Like, but it really reorganized. As you can see, it reorganized a lot of the money in this market into projects that kind of make a little more sense with their ability to make a difference in the world of banking and the economy, right? And their utility in the real world space. You know, memes are starting to struggle, but over the course of the month, the things that have been punished the most, those memes, just the projects that haven't been able to compete with other coins that have been up massively on the year, and you know, it is what it is. But this volatility is what's awesome. It's what makes trading in this environment really cool. All right, so back to Injective, we got that Adam and Eve forming, right? And we're looking to take advantage of that gap back up to about $21 on that Adam and Eve. And that trade's going very nicely right now, up $22, 17.08%, and we are moving in the right direction. All right. Onward, our next open trade is Solana. Good old Solana. Solana's been really interesting. Solana was actually the platform that Trump launched his meme coin on, and so did Melania, and it had a massive boom because in order to buy any of those things, you needed Solana. You couldn't do it with US dollars. You needed Solana, and it had a massive, Trump launches his meme coin around here. I think it was, January 16th or so. Yeah, it was something around, but you need Solana jumped 57% in a span of 4 to 5 days. That is a massive move for Solana, and I know it's been volatile, you know, in the short term there, and it kind of retraced and took back all its gains. That's why we're going to be taking profits on the way up, right? But you needed Solana, and now that it's fallen back off, and we're kind of in this. As we zoom in here, it's mimicking Bitcoin. Everything is kind of sort of mimicking Bitcoin. You can see it here, that Adam and Eve. I don't know why, I don't know how, but every asset seems to mimic Bitcoin on almost nearly to a T. Their percentage gains are different, but you'll see a lot of the graphs are often very, very similar. We got that Adam, we got that Eve, and this is telling me that the entire crypto market, even over the course of this week, is gonna have a pretty substantial move to the upside. And again, that may not happen. We may come up to the 200, get rejected, and it could dump in our faces. News could come out or whatever, but that's just a bias that I'm feeling with the overall space. And I think that over the course of this week, we're going to see some positive gains. Of course, not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Any kind of trade that you take, I highly recommend getting your own financial advisor and talking to them before making any trade or investment. All right, so that is our Solana trade. Honestly, a lot of these are mimicking the same as Bitcoin, right? But this is going to be a more volatile asset. Bitcoin moves 1%, Solana's going to move 3 to 4%. So that's why I'm on that lower leverage, but I'm looking to take advantage again of this gap in the VRVP. The stochastics are low, looking to reset and push to the overbought area. That's going to give us that momentum to drive to the upside. I really like what I'm seeing here for Solana, and I think we're going to see some gains here in the coming days / hours. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see a move in the next 8 to 12 hours. Market open tomorrow. I would not be surprised at all. All right, so onward we roll. Here we are. All right, let's go to Optimum Network. I think it's Optimum Network. I don't know much about this project. Optimism. I don't know much about this project, but we don't need to when it comes to trading, right? When we're taking advantage of these charts. Currently, the Optimism trade, we are on a 3x leverage, utilizing $319 in margin We are currently up 13.77% on this trade right now, looking for a $1.42 target with a 96 cent stop loss. We got in around $1.07, currently trading at $1.12, and let's move into the chart. It is represented here by my box, very similar to Bitcoin. Copy and paste, right? Very similar. We got that Atom, and we got that Eve rolling around here. Looking and feeling really good about this trade. These break out, 80 to 90% of the time, and we have tight moving averages, with the stochastics violently pointing up. That's on the 1 hour. Let's see what it's looking like on the larger time frames here. We're at the top. We're overbought on the 4 hour, but I like what I'm seeing. We could get pinned up here, and we have been pinned up here before, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to fall right here, right? But if we could stay up in here, I see a lot of bullish momentum for optimism here in the near term. And look at that beautiful gap in the VRVP, coming up to that $1.42 region, which is where we will be taking 100% of our position off the trade, and we will reevaluate. All right, moving into the daily. The daily is pointing up very aggressively. You can see that gap on a larger time frame here, and yeah, we're gonna be let's zoom out here and get a little bit of a better picture. Yeah, we're going to be looking to come up to this next high volume node here. That's at $1.73. It gives me a lot of hope that even if we're still bearish, even if the chart is still screaming bearishness to us, we're going to get a retrace, a bullish retrace of some point, likely up into this $1.70 region, in my opinion. And before we start seeing further drop to the downside, even if you're bearish, you have to speculate that we're not, most of these assets aren't just going to absolutely nuke. Right, you're not just going to have a straight line down. You're going to have shorts getting trapped here and getting stuck, and the market makers are going to take total advantage of that and rip the asset to the upside before bringing it back down. It's wild to see, and it happens all the time. Just as many people are shorting up here, short, people shorting, guarantee you people have stop losses right here. Right, the makers are going to eat that. So we're looking for areas of liquidity. Like, look at all the. I'll bet people have stops there, stops here, and the market makers love to eat those stop losses here, right, before trending back down in the lower. Even if this graph played out exactly to a T here, it looks like that's the kind of movement that we could expect from. Oh my gosh, I got rid of my indicators there. All right, back to it. All right. Here we go. All right, that is optimism in a nutshell. Oh, my TradingView is a disaster right now. There we go. But again, you can see that beautiful Adam and Eve. I expect this to play out to the upside. We are going to take this all the way up to $1.42, and we are going to milk this market for the gain that it's presenting to us right here. There's some beauty in charts, and that is beautiful to me. If you flip this upside down, just from a perspective of bearishness, right? If I'm looking at it upside down, I'm looking at it the opposite. Does this look like something that you would want to purchase right now? If you had a massive volume spike and you have that rounded top right here, looking to fall back. If this were the chart, I would be looking short. That is, that's why I'm in the long right now. It looks really, really promising for a push to the upside. Again, be so careful with leverage. You could do this with spot too. Buying the asset and holding it until it's worth $1.40. When he's selling out. You don't want to get euphoric in these markets and hold things for a long period of time when you're on leverage, because you're just gonna get absolutely wrecked. Just the other day, we had the most let me pull up let's see. We'll go on Bitcoin. We'll show it here, right? We had the most massive, bigger than the FTX crash, bigger than COVID, bigger than anything. This candle right here was the biggest. Whoop! The biggest liquidation event in crypto history. Bitcoin fell 11%. 11% on a $2 trillion asset. It was massive. It was bloody for the altcoins. And you think that's Bitcoin? Let's pull up Ethereum here. The number one altcoin. Look at that massive wick. And yes, it did get bought up, but good night. You had a 25% drop on the number one altcoin. The number one altcoin with the most money in it. It's absolutely crazy that happened in a singular day. So many people got liquidated. Look at what the market maker took all the way down, took out that wick, that wick, that wick, that wick. Everybody with their stop losses down here got absolutely wrecked. They got liquidated / stopped out, right? And you know, you have other big wicks here. That's crazy. But it all got bought back up. But that's the danger of using leverage. If you're on any long of a 4x or greater, you were liquidated. You were liquidated. You weren't stopped. You were liquidated. I mean, you could have been stopped out. But if you had no stop loss, you would have been liquidated and lost everything, your entire position, right? So that's why it's so important to be careful with leverage. And we're going to be talking about risk management over and over and over and over on this channel, because it's going to be something that drives this channel forward, and what ultimately drives this account balance up to the moon. That's where we're looking to go. We're going to do it carefully, and we're going to do it strategically together. I'm going to be very open-minded, or I'm going to be very open with you guys with the trades that I take. Any trades that I take during the day, I'm going to walk you guys through as I did today, and we're going to move forward. And you know, risk management is so key, man. It's so key. Like, you know, you can go back through the history and, you know, you can see like what we've made and what we've lost, right? And it's so key. And, you know, it's something that everybody needs to have, or you are going to get yourself absolutely wrecked. Say I doubled my account with every one of these trades. Say I just doubled my account. I had $100 in, double 200, double 400, double 800, double, you know, 1,600, and then say I get to here and I get absolutely, that's $10, right? But say it was a trade that liquidated my account or took 50%. The feeling of losing that amount of money is absolutely detrimental on a single trade that had to work out. Nothing has to work out in trading. That's why we take one trade at a time. And each of these are just ideas, right? They're just ideas that we're looking to, to capitalize on. We're looking for short-term market movements. I'm not looking at, I'm not looking at Ethereum like, oh my gosh, this is the bottom. We're going up to the moon, moon boy, right? We're not looking to shoot to the moon and hold this leverage position open forever, because eventually we're going to run into a blow off top scenario. We're going to run into something like this, and we're going to hit it like ramming into a brick wall, man. And it is going to come down. This is the bear market, right? The bear market where sellers have control. And you got to be biased to the downside during bear markets, right? And we'll go over that when we're doing more macro technical analysis, as we get a couple videos in, we get a feeling for what you guys want to see and where the market is going. But you get you start falling into bear market territory. You got to be biased towards shorts. And anyone who had longs open from this area, liquidated, got liquidated there, everybody got absolutely rinsed before the market starts to recover. It happens in cycles. It happened here, it happened here, it happened here, and here we are again, right? And is this bear market territory? It's interesting for Ethereum because it's one of the most promising. It's one of the most promising projects out there, and it's kind of a shame that it hasn't gotten it's gotten institutional investment, but there have been a lot more speculative assets that I guess have stolen a lot of market share away from Ethereum, like Solana and Sui, and a lot of the meme coins. So I would argue it's one of the safer bets, right, for like a long-term hold. And I have a long-term holding portfolio, right, and it's nice to know that portfolio is entirely separate from my trading accounts, right? So this Blowfin trading account completely separate, from my my week's trading account. But it's a way to separate your funds and kind of gauge yourself as to where you are. Because right now I'm not thinking about my spot portfolio. I haven't looked at it. You just don't need to look at it, because over time when you're invested in quality projects, you're going to have a good return on your investment, right? So, and that may take a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, but think about it. 10 years ago, no, not 10 years ago, 15 years ago, Bitcoin was created and was trading in pennies, man. And I remember one of the coolest videos I see is Da Vinci J15 on YouTube, and he begs people on YouTube just to buy $1 worth of Bitcoin. And it's wild to think that people didn't, everybody thought he was crazy, but like what $1 would have done in Bitcoin for you at that time, getting 50, 80 Bitcoin. I saw a picture, and it was some kind of tournament at a school, and one of the prizes was like 50 Bitcoin for like fifth or fifth place. And it's crazy because that was back in 2010, 2011, and what that would be worth today, like the top prize was like $200-$300. So to have like 50 Bitcoin, like would have been absolutely mind blowing, so it's just something to consider. The volatility of the asset is awesome, and it has been down in the pennies all the way up to 109,000, and I think it's going to go a lot higher. I think it's going to go into the millions. I think Fidelity even came out and said they think it's going to be $1 billion asset, that each Bitcoin will be worth $1 billion. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I mean, it's obviously not going to be in the near term. But anyone thinking that Bitcoin can't get to $1 million is absolutely crazy, since it's been from pennies up to over 100 grand. Like what is that? And there's only 21 million of them, right? Like this pie. Where is it? Oh yeah. There's only 21 million Bitcoin, right? Max supply, and 19.8 million are already out there, and countries, states are already scooping them up. And there's gonna be a supply shock one day. I don't know what it's gonna be, but there's gonna be a point where everybody wants a coin, everybody wants a portion, and it's gonna be a massive surge of people trying to get Bitcoin, and exchanges are gonna run out. People aren't going to be willing to give it up. It's going to be something people hold offline on ledgers in their homes, and you're not going to be able to touch them. People won't be able to steal them on ledgers because of how unique the passcodes and phrases are, and what you need to do in order to get into ledgers. It's just not possible. So everybody's going to want a piece of this pie, right? So again, not a financial advisor, but if I were any of you, I'd highly recommend looking into this asset class and getting at least a piece of the pie for yourself, because eventually it's going to be way more valuable than this. People think this. We're going to look back, and our kids are going to be like, "Wow, Dad, you were able to get Bitcoin under 100K. Why didn't you buy more?" What? Like it's gonna be one of those assets that does that, right? And I think a lot of these assets will be a lot more valuable than they are today. Just my personal opinion on that. But that's my general overview of the crypto market and kind of what's going on tonight. And I have all my trades open. I'm gonna have these trades open until either my take profit is hit. I'm gonna move my stop loss up on these probably a little later tonight if we get that bullish push. And I'm gonna move them to at least break even, take probably 25% off. But I will keep you guys updated tomorrow on our nightly live stream. And I appreciate everybody coming in and tuning in today. And this is my first stream, so I appreciate everybody comment, subscribe, tell your friends. And this is just going to be a chill environment for us to hang out and discuss different trading ideas and strategies, and just talk about the broader markets as a whole. Again, I appreciate everybody coming in to Voice Crypto tonight. Comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow night. Enjoy your night, everybody.